Welcome to Sunday, everyone. Just a little reminder of my story, my personal story, life story. At the age of 20, a revolution happened within me. I lost all interest in the outer world. Academic pursuit, money, materialistic life, I lost everything. Didn't have any glamour for me. It just, overnight this happened. I changed my job from working in the industry, oil industry, to teaching. I wanted to be with children. I focused only on spirituality, reading all the books that I could read. Because at 15, I was fascinated by spirituality and spiritual thinking. Seeing it more in a metaphysical way, the powers of spirituality, the hidden potential of spirituality. I saw it more like a science, metaphysical science. But at 20, when I lost it, I began to realize that I couldn't control my mind. And that was difficult for me to realize. That I couldn't feel love. Suddenly I lost the sweetness of childhood, the passion of youth. I just lost it. And I felt totally disconnected from the universe in terms of God. I believed in the power of the universe, but I felt disconnected. So that was my goal. How do I come back connected to this universe? How do I feel in sync with the universe? How do I meet with this God within me or God around me? How do I meet with this God? And how can my heart be full of love in every moment and for everything? How can I live in love? And how can I control this restless mind? Those were my goals. So as you can imagine, I moved away from society. All these were sugarcane fields. I used to walk on evenings here, sit down in the hills, looking at the sea and the sunset, pondering life. No houses like you can see now like this. So many. So I retreated from life. Life was too overwhelming. And then the only thing I could think of is finding a guru in India. Nowhere else. I couldn't find any teacher in Trinidad, though people wanted to be my teacher. I saw through them very quickly. I wanted a real teacher, someone who can tell me that they made the journey, and someone who I can feel that they made the journey. And so that became important to me. So at 21, I was able to amass the money that I needed, and I left for India. Can you imagine? My bag was like this. A blanket, towel, 3 suits of clothes. 1 to wear, 1 dry and clean and nice, and 1 would be washed. That was my trip to India. If I was sleeping in a train station, I'd have the bag below my head, and I would sleep. I'd put my piece of blanket and sleep on the floor when I needed to. That's how I lived. My goal was not to come back. No, my goal was not to come back to Trinidad. I decided I would live in India somewhere, in the seclusion of an ashram, because I had this secluded mind. But the way life turned out, it was totally different. After spiritual awakening in India, and I felt this Kundalini Shakti moving within me, and she wouldn't stop. I found God within me. And she opened up my heart, of all things. Passion returned. Within 1 month of being in India, passion returned. And I found a guiding power within me in this Kundalini Shakti. So the outer guru was inconsequential. What was more important was his inner power, but I had great respect for the guru in whose ashram I was awakened. I started to read up about this guru. I had no intention to get involved in Kundalini. I thought it was a dangerous thing. But Kundalini happened to me. I was confused in the beginning because this was totally strange. But when I began to realize what happened, I read a book called Devatma Shakti, and that instructed me. And the autobiography of Swami Muktanand. Those two books instructed me. But I was a different person. A week in this ashram, I wrote to my family in Trinidad. Happily. I still have the postcard that I wrote back in 1975. Saying that I found what I was looking for. But what was revealing or instructive was this. The same world that I shunned became alive to me. I began to enjoy, savor everything in the ashram, from pulling grass, cleaning toilets, washing pots in the kitchen. Everything became a joy. I was not tired like before, frustrated, alone. No, a whole new energy was surging through my body. And this energy stayed with me everywhere I traveled, because then I got a little bit of the travel instinct. That let me go in India and look for more ashrams like this, if they could exist. And perhaps I might meet a master who is resident, because the master of this ashram, where I was awakened, was in the United States. I made an effort. Someone was trying to help me to go there, but I come from a poor country. I'm sure the US didn't want me there. So I stayed put in India. I traveled through India. And I felt this awakened power with me through India. And wherever I go where the vibration was strong, it felt just like I was in a temple in Ganeshpuri, in Bombay. And people became interesting to me, all the characters I meet on the journey. Suddenly, I could feel that the world has become a place of sadhana. Not only the ashram in India, but I needed the ashram for that revitalizing, that sadhana, where I could move away from everything. I still needed the ashram, but the world became different to me. I began to see God in the world. And I began to feel that the temple is not the only place of the divinity, but the whole world. And I began to see relationships differently. That's why the joy of service returned to me so powerfully. So the question here is that, should we move away from the world in sadhana? Or should we recognize that God is in the world and the world can become an exciting place of sadhana? Why exciting? Because the whole orchestration of the karmic play, all the relationships, all the events, the place we were born, the time we were born, the planetary influences, the whole orchestration of the karmic play has purpose. So if you can decode the karmic play, if you can see why I am where I am, and begin to use that as a path of sadhana, sadhana can become exciting. And what is more exciting, because I found that in doing that and in meeting with my universe like that, I was meeting with God. I trusted the universe. I trusted the power within me to help me navigate. And I saw how she guided me to all the right people, all the right places, all the right events at the right times. So the world became an exciting place of sadhana, and I learned from every experience. I learned from every person I met, every person, no one to be excluded. I was not a realized being. I didn't realize my complete self. But this I knew. The world came alive. Sadhana was in the world. I couldn't contain myself to a temple anymore. So though I went to stay in India indefinitely, 4 months after, I was coming back to Trinidad. Not that I was enlightened. Not that I was totally happy and steady. No. But I found this joy in my soul. And I found that I had tools to manage my mind and to open my heart and to love the world and to love everything that I did. So I came back into responsibility in Trinidad. I got involved in my job, but my job was different. I saw all the relationships that were existing in my sphere, and I took the responsibility of bringing light to all of them. I transformed my home. I changed my home into a kind of mini ashram. And it was tremendous joy. And I became a center for the Guru's ashram. But 2 years after I was back in India for training, well, the center started after that. So I was trained in this Siddha Yoga. But when I came back, but that was a fascinating time in India, because then Baba Muktananda was there. So it was fascinating. And then that's a whole other story of my relationship with him, because Kundalini was my guide, not a human person. So I had to close my eyes in his presence and go inside of me and connect with that power. And then I could appreciate who he was. Not in the human sense, but in the divine sense. And that was my joy. I found what could guide me, the Kundalini through him. And of course, that was a kind of impactful meeting with him, more than I expected. And about 7 months after, I was forced into seclusion by this energy. And of course, you know the story of 40 days. After that, I was a whole different person. Now, what I saw in the universe, and I saw the God in the universe, no, this was different. This was another step. I began to feel the energy of everything. The energy of people's intentions. I could feel that I'm existing inside of them. When I came out of this 40 days and got involved in things, the plant was no longer a plant. This was life reaching out from the ground. Everything I saw was different. Every space that I walk into, I could feel all the energies of the space. Suddenly my whole being is heightened awareness to energy. And then, oh my God, I wanted to stay focused in my head all the time because it was so sweet to be in the head. But I felt my body was like, I don't want to say lifeless, but more disempowered, because only my head, this sweetness in my head. So I thought, oh my God, how am I going to live? I'm going to have to stay in this state continuously because the upper chakras are there and they're so sweet in the brain. It took me months because I thought, oh, this is not the way to live. No. Am I going to just stay with this sweetness in my head continuously? No, I need to work. I always loved financial independence. I don't want to depend on anybody. So it took me months before I could realize that I could channel this energy and not just keep it in my head, into all the things that I do. So I started channeling the energy into my body. And that was a whole new revelation, because I could revitalize my body through the energy. And then I got back involved in the working world. And as the divine would have it, I got a scholarship to the university. And that's where I did my engineering degree through the scholarship. And my whole world opened up. My whole world opened up. God was everywhere in my world. The world became an ashram. And the Guru was everywhere. The Guru was the universe. It was just fascinating. I went to the university not because I wanted to get a degree. I just wanted to test my mind to accomplish, to do the best that I can with this new power that I had. And in the workplace, wow. I just wanted to bring people together. I just wanted to bring spirituality into the workplace. And having this awareness of energy and this power to channel energy into everything that I do. Meetings were beautiful. My work was beautiful. I was fully present to the moment. I was fully present to everybody. And I could energize myself even in the workplace. So now I went back into industry. I became industry. So I'm in a whole complex of very dynamic activity. And I work in a steel plant, which is highly automated, so it was really very active. But it was a joy. It was a joy. Life became a joy. And to this day, that's how life is. I experience the world so differently. And so this ashram cannot contain me. The world is my ashram. The world is my family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is my family. The Guru is the universe. I see life differently. I honor all the masters. I could see the one power in all of them. So should we run away from the world? No, we should retreat when we need to. But ultimately, we need to realize that the whole world is divine. That the Guru is everywhere. More importantly, inside of us. And we should make the world our place of sadhana. I wish I could sit here and tell you more because I am passionate about it. But I simply wanted to inspire you not to move away from world and relationship and duty and responsibilities. No. See the divine play, see the karmic play, honor the relationships, and use them to lift yourself. Use them to evolve in consciousness. And sadhana will become a joy. The world will become an adventure. And life will become, what should I say? A way of adventure to freedom. An adventure to freedom. So I want to wish all of you a happy Sunday, everyone, wherever you are. Always a joy to speak to you. Namaskar, everyone. Have a blessed day.